Hello again, everyone. This is Jan from New York City, and my channel name is Jan from New York City Saves Money, and that is my channel's mission to help anyone who possibly wants to save money to do just that, save money. And if this is something for you, I encourage you to consider subscribing, sharing, and liking. Just adjusting the camera a little bit. Hopefully this is a little bit better. Hope that this video finds you doing well. Hey, it's tea time, but I actually have Joe in this cup today, so I'm not going to lie. Put Joe in this cup today, but it could be Joe time, it could be tea time, but it's 15 minutes of time, hopefully well spent with me. So how's everybody doing today? I really hope that this video finds everybody doing well. Can you possibly believe it? A week from Thursday is Thanksgiving. And of course, there's a lot of talk about the holidays and preparation and everything. And to remind anyone who's interested, Steve and I will be coming on with the help of goodness on Thanksgiving Day, Thanksgiving afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern Time on a live show. And it's going to be fun. We're going to have some trivia games and just trivia games about a lot of things. Trivia games about actual Thanksgiving, things that you might remember growing up. Also taking some, quick surveys from you, taking a pulse on the viewers on, things that you remember. Well, I don't want to give the whole show away, but it's going to be nice. So get over there. One of the things that I'd like to talk to you about today, and by the way, this all ties in with Money Monday, because if you might recall, a week ago, last Monday, I did my tea time and my Money Monday show combined. So put it this way, we're going to save money on some Thanksgiving meal planning, so it kind of sort of fits all together anyway. So it's a Money Monday show, and it's a 15 minutes of tea, and in this case happens to be coffee. I just felt like coffee with me time, and I really do value your time. Now, the truth be told, the Thanksgiving Day meal does not have to be ultra fattening. It does not have to be ultra expensive. You're the person in charge of that. In fact, your Thanksgiving Day feast doesn't even have to be a turkey. It doesn't even have to be a ham. It doesn't even have to be a chicken. It could be whatever you want it to be. Back in the old days, I noticed something about TV shows. What is the biggest, worst, dreadfulest thing that ever happened to people on the TV shows? Let's say like during the Leave It to Beaver era. I'm just saying, like back in the late 50s, early 60s. The most dreaded thing in the world was if two things. One, if you were embarrassed by anything, and every little thing embarrassed you back in the day. Or if you didn't quite measure up or be like a cookie cutter. Well, thankfully, don't get me wrong, I love my television classics. I really love to watch them. But I don't miss a few things about the old days. I don't miss that, everybody has to have exactly the same Thanksgiving like someone else. No. Number one, that's not realistic. Number two, that's just ridiculous. And number three, there is no right or wrong way to celebrate whatever tradition you're celebrating on that day. We just happen to be used to it. And if your family's used to that and you love it, that's great. And there's no problem with that. If you're not a fan of turkey, why are you going to make turkey? If you're not a fan of anything that has to do with that, then you just live your day the way you wish to live your day. I'm a firm believer of that. You always have to wing it to the thing that most befits you or most befits your family. But if you do enjoy celebrating the traditional way, with wiggle room, have that wiggle room. I think that's really the message I'm trying to convey, that there's not one preset form of, this is absolutely 100% right way to do it. Right according to whom? According to someone else that made that decision for everyone else a long time ago? No. You do what works for you, what you can afford. I don't want anybody going into debt just to conform to this need to keep up with the Joneses. Because back in the day, truly, that's what a lot of people did. This is kind of cute. I have to allude back to the 1960s. How many of you out there were children of the 60s? I was a little kid in the 60s. I was a teen in the 70s. Life in the 60s was so much different than life in the 70s. Can anybody out there attest to that? What a change. Holy smoke. Anyway, just saying. I remember back in the 60s, if your shoes and your purse and your stockings didn't match, the height of embarrassment. I'm not kidding. Even the little kids felt that impact. I being one of them. Oh, no. You have to have a patent leather purse to go with your patent leather shoes, albeit it was cute to look at, but that pressure was just about silly. Just silly. Then in the 70s, well, the 70s was definitely a fashion explosion in every respect. Maybe in a way, it was a good thing. So I'm grateful for that. Let's get back to inexpensive meal planning for Thanksgiving or any holiday, or even just the typical Sunday with a couple of friends or family members, okay? A gathering, a get-together. Okay, I had made a video a little while back called Jan's Fast Sugar Cookies. To be honest with you, even when Steve tried my recipe, he says, you know, Jan, they remind me of snickerdoodles. I said, you know something, Steve, you're right. I mean, more or less, I could practically call them a snickerdoodle, okay? So if you like snickerdoodle type cookies, this is your answer. I'm going to give you the recipe right now. And in addition to that, I will hook up that video in the description box below for easy, ready reference, okay? Okay. So this is my fast sugar cookie recipe. And of course, it involves what? Take 3 guesses. Complete pancake mix. And for anyone that's really like, you know, on a shoestring budget, these are the answer. These are the most simplistic cookies because these are made with pantry basics, baking basics that almost everyone has, okay? And if you don't have those basics, it is worth the investment on getting it on a smaller scale if you're not the type of person that bakes a lot. But most people already have the complete pancake mix, which is like so many steps like removed from other ingredients and thus saves you money, time, and convenience. So without further ado, by the way, check out this cute little trusty notebook. Now, I know the camera makes it look huge, but in reality, if this thing is about 5 inches tall, it's so cute. So I christened it. It's the first thing I wrote down. I christened it with my cookie recipe. Okay, all you need to do, you may want to pause the video. All you need to do is preheat your oven to 350 degrees. All you need is 1.5 cups of your complete pancake mix. Okay? Then you're going to need 1/2 cup of sugar. Regular sugar. Does not have to be the fancy sugar. Okay. Optionally, you could put a pinch of cinnamon if you so desire. Optionally. 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And for the wet ingredients, 3 capfuls of whatever oil cap you have. 3 capfuls of that. And 1 egg. If you so desire, if you have it on hand, a capful of vanilla. Not necessary. Totally not necessary. So if you don't have it, that doesn't mean you don't, make the cookie. You make the cookie. I don't use it. So that's why I said the vanilla is optional. Okay, so then what you're going to do is, mix the wet ingredients with the dry ingredients. You take a regular standard spoon. You spoon them out on your baking tray. You don't have to grease the baking tray because the oil is already in there. But if, some people do out of habit. If you want to make cleanup even easier, some people put foil. These come right off, in my experience. They come right off of my baking sheet. So you're going to bake these up for 12 minutes at 350 degrees. And by the way, you have the option, if you want to make them colorful and pretty, if you have a handful of M&Ms. You don't have to go out and buy a $5 bag of chocolate chips. This is what always gets to me, and people do this every year. If you hardly ever use poultry seasoning, for example, and only use it for a one-time deal like at Thanksgiving, and you're spending like $5 or $6 on the good one, and then it stays up in your closet, and then you throw it away and buy a new one every year. Why? Why? Get the seasoning that you use. This is where people throw valuable money down the drain, and it's truly not needed to do that. Okay, so I'm telling you, you might even try to make a batch this morning. Do something different on a Monday. Surprise your family with a batch of fresh cookies. So by getting the M&Ms, or if you happen to have a handful of chocolate chips, you can throw chocolate chips in there. If you happen to have whatever nut, maybe crushed walnut, whatever you want, or just plain sugar cookies. This is an old trick. When people are broke or don't feel like spending, or rather put that $5 into a savings someplace, physically take that $5 and walk to your saving place. I don't care if it's a box. I don't care if it's a drawer. I don't care if it's an envelope. I don't care if it's a jar. Take that physical bill. There's something that makes it more real when you take that physical bill and walk it to your savings source. Let's say that instead of buying fancy mix and you had all this stuff already and you whipped up the cookies successfully and you enjoy them, say, hey, I saved $5 by doing this. Take that physical $5 and put it away. And as you keep doing little things like that and taking that physical hard bill and putting it somewhere else, at the end of the month, let's say you check every month your progress, you'll be amazed. You'll be totally amazed, like, wow, I really did save $40 physically this month. You know, don't get me wrong. Apps are wonderful and they're here to stay and they're very convenient. But I think every once in a while, I think it's good to revert back to Grandma's day or even Mom's day or whatever and take that physical bill and put it somewhere. I don't care if it's $1, because I want to talk about savings for a second. But let me first go to this next recipe idea, okay? So if you're having a skinny chicken month at Thanksgiving, ironic, right? Skinny chicken, Thanksgiving. Okay. Thanksgiving comes at the end of the month. And many people are skinny chickening it. Yes, the bird clock. Would it ever be a day without it? But God bless my little bird clock. My mom loved it. That's why I keep it going. Otherwise, I actually could shut off the feature on there but then again, it wouldn't be a nice video without that bird clock saying hello, right? Okay. It's like a hello from Mom. Okay. All right, Mom, I'll continue this video. Anyway, here's a wonderful recipe idea, okay, for when you're tight on a budget for Thanksgiving time or any time for that matter. Make an old-fashioned apple crisp. More than likely, you have all the ingredients. I have one of the best recipes ever. I got it from a video last year. I'm going to hook up that video in the description box below. And also, you see me making my own apple crisp using that video. So there might be 3 videos in your linkage up in today's description box. But I'm going to put the actual video that I obtained my information from, okay? I promise you that is one, and I've tried apple crisp, lots of them in my life, okay? Let me just say this. I so recommend this recipe. So it's very affordable, and more than likely you have all the ingredients on hand. So I'm looking at my timer here. I'm at 13 minutes of 55 on this. Okay, so 2 minutes to go on my other timer for the 15 minutes time with you. Okay, so what I want to say about savings, we have become numbified to numbers. That's why I even mentioned this recently on my live show when I was interviewing Money Mom. Check it out if you haven't seen it yet. I did a show a while back about what $100 can do for you. I'm getting the warning sign, so I might talk beyond the beep if that's okay with you. I did a show last week, an interview live with Money Mom and Brandon Neely from the Grandma's Wealth Wisdom. You know, things have really changed so much. We have really become numbified to numbers. And a long time ago, I did a video about what $100 cash can do for you in New York City. What can you do with $100 cash in New York City? You would be amazed. One example was you could take 33 subway rides all across the city. 33 rides all across the city is a lot of mileage for less than $100. Just using that as an example. You could buy 50 boxes of $2 cake mixes, for example. Okay. This is why I'm saying to you, don't hesitate to take that physical bill. Try this for 1 month. If there's one thing you may want to start doing, you don't even have to wait till January. Start now during the throes of the holiday season. Okay? Take that, I hear it, take that physical money, put it on the side for a 31-day period, a monthly period. Write today's date down. Do what you can for the next 31 days. Go and visit that envelope, box, glass jar, whatever, and see what you save. Are you up to that challenge? Let me know. Let me know. It'll be a fun experiment. Well, I have to be respectful of the title of my show, and it was for 15 minutes, so I don't want to exceed my time limit because I also do respect your time. And thank you for taking your time out of your busy schedule and having a cup of tea/Joe with me. Have a wonderful Monday, everybody. Think outside the box. Go make your family either the apple crisp today, just to experiment with it if you have the ingredients, or the sugar cookies. That way, by the time Thanksgiving rolls around, you will have been an expert. Have a great day.